Enter player 1.
Vault 106, one of Vault-Tec's infamous social experiments. Located in the capital Wasteland, this vault was designed to test the effects of psychoactive drugs on its inhabitants. But let's not pretend Vault-Tec came up with this all by themselves. Behind every great disaster is a twisted mind pulling the strings. In this case, that mind belongs to Frederick Sinclair, a name that should ring a bell, especially if you're familiar with the Sierra Madre Casino Resort. Sinclair was more than just a researcher at Big MT. He was the same visionary responsible for turning a luxury casino into a nightmare of isolation and control. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Vault 1066 wasn't a random selection in Vault-Tec's twisted lottery of human experimentation. It was designed from the start to be a place where sanity and reality would break down, a natural extension of Sinclair's obsession with control, just like the Sierra Madre. Vault 106's specific purpose was simple. 10 days after it was sealed, psychoactive drugs were released into the air filtration system. At first, the overseer was fully aware of what was happening, claiming the effects would be non-lethal and short-lived. You know, just your average Tuesday, gas the entire population and tell them it's all fine. If anyone noticed a strange odor or taste in the air, they were fed the lie that it was simply a slight irregularity in the system. Classic Vault-Tec. Of course, things didn't exactly go as planned. The drugs triggered hallucinations, paranoia, and eventually, violence. Residents turned on each other, and the vault descended into chaos. The overseer ordered a lockdown, but it didn't matter. Security was overwhelmed, and by the time anyone realized how dangerous things had become, it was too late. The vault was lost to madness. Fast forward to 2277. The vault is a wreck. The same drugs are still being pumped through the ventilation system, and any unlucky wanderer who steps inside gets a first-hand experience of what living in Vault 106 was like. Hallucinations, disorientation, and the ever-present threat of violence. Survivors, if you can call them that, are still lurking in the shadows. Driven insane, they wander the halls in tattered Vault 106 jumpsuits, wielding whatever blunt objects they can find, ready to bash in the skull of anyone who gets too close. Now, you'd think Vault-Tec would have taken a little more care in selecting its victims, but here's where things get even more interesting. Vault 106 wasn't just any random experiment. Frederick Sinclair, the man behind the Sierra Madre, played a significant role in the design of Vault 106's twisted experiment. His presence at a pre-war meeting with Vault-Tec and other corporate heads, as shown in the Fallout TV show, ties him directly to the Vault's creation. The same mind that turned a luxury casino into a death trap was at the helm of this psychological disaster. And he did it with a calm, detached demeanor that could only belong to someone who truly enjoyed watching people break. Inside the vault, hallucinations become the norm. Wander down a corridor, and you might encounter familiar faces. Your father, Amada, or even the tunnel snakes. But these aren't real people. They're phantoms conjured up by the drugs, designed to disorient and confuse. Try talking to them, and they vanish. Kill them, and you'll lose karma, as if there's some moral weight to eliminating a figment of your imagination. Sinclair's influence is everywhere, from the vault's air filtration system to its very design. You can see it in the small details. The hallucination terminals scattered throughout, offering cryptic messages like, "Relax," and "Breathe deep in the blue." These weren't just random notes left by confused residents. They were part of the experiment, guiding the victims deeper into their own psychosis, just as Sinclair had done at the Sierra Madre. Vault 106's overseer, following orders, continued to insist that everything was fine. But the terminals tell a different story. One terminal, hidden behind a very easy locked door near the entrance, contains a message from the overseer to Vault security. It explains away the strange taste and odor as nothing more than a filtration issue, urging them to lie to residents if anyone became suspicious. Another terminal, accessible only during a hallucination, offers an unsettling note. "I have nothing more to say to you. We're through here." It's as if the vault itself is taunting its inhabitants, pushing them further into madness. In the Fallout TV show, Sinclair's appearance in the meeting with Vault-Tec Repcon, Robco, and West-Tec offers a chilling glimpse into his mind. He discusses Vault 106 with the same casual indifference as he did the Sierra Madre, seeing people not as individuals, but as test subjects. His plans for the vault were just another step in his lifelong obsession with control, and Vault 106 was the perfect canvas to watch humanity unravel. At the heart of it all, we see the same traits Sinclair brought to every project he touched: his need to control, manipulate, and break those around him. Vault 106 was no different. And just like the Sierra Madre, it left behind a legacy of destruction, with only skeletons and insanity to tell the tale. By the time the lone wanderer stumbles across it, it's a ruin of its former self, a testament to the arrogance of men like Frederick Sinclair. And let's not forget the survivors. These aren't your typical raiders or wastelanders. They're the remnants of Vault 106's population, twisted and broken by years of exposure to the psychoactive drugs. Armed with baseball bats, pool cues, and even the occasional Chinese officer's sword, they're tougher than the average wastelander, even without armor. It's as if the drugs have not only affected their minds, but also given them a strange resilience. At the end of it all, in the deepest part of the vault, you'll find evidence of a final, desperate attempt to escape. A small cave filled with skeletons and a mini-nuke suggests that some of the vault dwellers tried to blow their way out. Whether they were trying to escape the vault or simply end their torment, we'll never know. But it's clear that Vault 106, like so many of Vault-Tec's experiments, was doomed from the start. Frederick Sinclair's legacy didn't end with Vault 106. His obsession with control and manipulation would continue to haunt the Wasteland, from the Sierra Madre to Big MT. And while he may not have lived to see the fallout of his twisted experiments, his presence is still felt in every corner of the Wasteland. Vault 106 is just one of many reminders of the price of hubris, and of the lengths men like Sinclair were willing to go in their pursuit of power. So the next time you wander into an old abandoned vault, remember, you're not just exploring the ruins of a dead civilization. You're walking through the twisted remnants of someone else's grand experiment, where every corridor, every terminal, and every hallucination is a testament to the dark ambitions of men like Frederick Sinclair. Enjoy your stay. After all, Sinclair would have wanted it that way. And in case you were wondering, no, I'm not releasing psychoactive drugs into your air supply. Yet.